Big one in the sim on Saturday, 3 p.m. ESPN2. Your Tigs are, I think it's a 3.5 point. Got to 2.5. Let's look at the DraftKings. It is currently 3.5.
Okay.
3.5 point favorite, even though Brett McMurphy tweeted it incorrectly and tried to say Boise was the favorite. Disgusting.
Seems like a rather small line, doesn't it?
It
3.5?
does.
I will say I said 3. So
Trey did pick that.
TJ, myself, and our buddy Charlie, we do this before the lines come out every week. Try to guess. I said it was going to be about 3.5. It was. They both said 7.5. I just know Vegas is what it boils down to. If 3.5 feel here, I knew that that's what they were going to put it at, but stay tuned later and we'll discuss it more.
Yeah. I think I actually said 7.5, but
Yeah, I think Charlie said 7. You said 7.5.
I think
said
that
3.5.
line will move, but it's just
It's
me.
already, it moved down and now it's back up. It did get all the way down to 2.5 or 2.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, right when it came out, it moved pretty quickly. All right. What are you scared of with Boise?
Ashton Genty. I mean, I think that's the only thing you can be
they
scared
are
of.
a pretty one-dimensional ball club,
Yeah.
to be quite honest. Genty's, look, based on the fourth quarter, I don't feel great about it.
Yeah.
I mean, not just with Genty, but with the QB. They're
Taylor
both
Green.
Yeah. Green's very capable of running. He's not a great passer. I mean, he sits at like a 50% completion rate. Every throws for like 6.5 yards. I mean, he's not airing it out. He's a bigger guy.
Yeah.
But he's very capable of running. I think in the last 2 years, he's got 24 runs for 10 plus yards, which is, that's a lot of runs for a QB.
Yeah.
But looking at it, offensively, they've struggled in the air. I mean, his Green's passing grade from PFF is 56.8 this season. Again, only averaging 6.5 yards per attempt. And I don't know what Action Network is saying, but through 4 weeks, they have our secondary listed as the best in the country. I think that's because we played Bethune, Arkansas State, and Navy. I'm surprised that didn't bump us from the first place after what Cook and Burden just did to us on Saturday.
Yeah.
But we rank first in passing success rate allowed, passing explosiveness, which is hard to believe after a 76-yard tutty and then what Luther was able to do, and then passes allowed. So they also have Memphis rated as a top 50 rushing success rate defense. So while Genty can pound the rock and Green can run it, it'll be interesting to see what they're able to do, Boise State, on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah. And I've watched some of the Boise game, and Taylor Green, I don't think is good. I
He
think they're
cannot
better
throw
with
the
Hank
ball.
Bachmeier back there, but I think he got hurt. I don't even know if he's actually there anymore now, but Green started there last year as well. He looks the part. You know, he's 6'5", 6'6", 220.
Who did you compare him to earlier?
Oh, Grant Gunnell.
Yeah.
Very similar in terms of build. If you look at them, they're big guys, and he is just not a great passer. He's just not. Like, I mean, it looks like, you know, you and myself are back there at quarterback trying to throw the ball.
Speak for yourself.
And I do think that Ashton Genty is good. As much praise as we've given Blake Watson, he is as much Blake Watson as Blake Watson is Blake Watson. They are on the same level.
You lost me because you just said Blake Watson no less than 6 times in the same sentence. So
He is a very explosive runner. He will catch it out of the backfield. They will move him around to get him the ball. He is all over the place, and he is very good. I think he is a former 4-star. So, I mean, he comes heralded, I think, out of Texas, maybe. Does that sound right? No, he's good. He's good, and he's definitely someone they're going to have to watch for.
Yeah, he's got 407 rushing yards, I think 6 tutties with a long of 58, averaging 5.6 yards a carry. He is also their second, to your point, out of the backfield, a lot like Blake Watson, their second leading receiver.
Yeah.
Both in receptions at 18, right behind Eric McAllister, their bigger bodied wide receiver. He's got 20 for 328 and 3 touchdowns. But Gentry's got 18 receptions, 285, so a 15.8 yard average and 2 touchdowns receiving.
I mean,
it's kind of a do-it-all guy for him.
Yeah, he is very much so. Again, Blake Watson, like he is. You kind of just watch him, and that's where the ball is going to be 90% of the time. It feels like. So I think he just put up 200 yards against San Diego State. I think it was 200 yards. Very explosive runner. I mean, he's definitely the one you're going to have to watch. I'm not worried. I say I'm not worried about the quarterback. Green can run, as we've talked on it. It feels very similar to ECU of years past with what's his name?
Ayers.
Holton Ahlers.
Ahlers.
Not a runner necessarily, but on third down can always find a way to pick up the 10 yards needed.
Green's a little more athletic than
yes,
Holton
Green is definitely more athletic than Ahlers. I think he's not Tim Tebow light. He is just very long, and I think that he is interesting enough. I think he can make the difference.
So offensively, watching out for Ashton Jeanty, the sophomore out of Jacksonville, Florida, 5'9", 200, very similar to Blake Watson. And then obviously what Green will be able to do, sort of in the run game for them. Defensively, TJ, they are bad.
Very bad.
Bad.
Very bad.
I watched a little bit of the San Diego State game on Friday, and it was very reminiscent of the first half. The Tigers, they are a poor tackling squad. Their defense this year, they're giving up 8 yards of play, which ranks 132 out of 133 FBS teams. Now, part of that is because they've faced 2 top 5 offenses in college football in Washington, who's number 1.
Yeah.
And
UCF.
UCF, who's number 4. But that is not good, 132 out of 133. No. They have not done a very good job of stopping the run, but they've been even worse at stopping the pass. They're allowing 11.6 yards through the air, which is 101st in the passing defense. So this is a game that Seth could get back on track through the air. They also don't do a very good job of getting the quarterback. They've been one of the worst teams in the country, 119th out of 133 in their pass rush grade, and then 116th in sack percentage. So they are not getting to the quarterback very often.
It feels like we're playing a pretty version of Arkansas State based off the stats that you're giving me, because I think Arkansas State is probably like tit for tat on all of those in terms of.
They are a better ball club than Arkansas State.
This I said, the pretty version of
for
them,
sure.
You know, they have names, they have more talent. I would say their offense is better just because of Jeanty alone. But
yeah, so they're FPI wise, they are, I want to say 65th, I think. They're kind of the reverse of us, to be honest.
What do you mean there?
They're 64th in FPI. Their efficiency wise, offense is decent. At 45th, defense 92nd. We're about to flip of that.
Yeah.
Defense, we're 40th. Offense, we're 80th, I think. Efficiency.
You know, we've talked about it.
So it's going to be a matchup of a decent offense and a
poor defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not poor. But.
Well,
yeah,
their defense is poor. Our offense is not great.
Yeah.
And our defense is decent, and their offense is decent.
Which pisses me off. And we've talked about it all episode because there's no reason for the offense to be bad. There's just no reason for it. You have all of the weapons.
I mean, I don't know that they're bad.
You just told me they were ranked 90th in the nation out of 130.
That's efficiency-wise.
That's bad.
They're just not efficient.
That's bad.
It's because they have moments where they stall.
Yeah, I don't know. It's annoying.
I mean, you're averaging 37 points a game. You're putting up yardage wise
350,
437.
Okay. More than I thought.
Boise State's giving up 450 and 30 points a game. I mean, I think you'll be able to find success offensively.
They should. And I think that they should literally, and it's so annoying that I'm saying this because I've said it every episode for the past like 6 years, I feel like. I know that's a bit of an exaggeration, but air it out. Literally air it out. Let the pass open the run.
Get Seth in a rhythm, even if it's throwing to Watson out of the backfield.
Yes, you've got it.
And go up and get the ball.
Yes, try to simplify it for him. And
give me a Demir over the middle.
Yeah, why was
give me a Skates bomb?
Yeah,
down the middle of the field.
Honestly, at one point, I would be so curious if they ran 4 wide receivers and had Skates at one slot, Demir at the other, and just ran them both. Just fly straight down the field.
Give me a Kobe Drake tutty right over the middle of the field.
Yeah, I mean,
in traffic.
Look,
open it up Saturday. Air that baby out.
I've said it 50 times. I hate the long developing routes. It takes so long because that's what Seth gets back there. He's just watching one guy,
and I think he starts thinking. He just
overthinks it. Yeah, I would agree with that.
If
it's not there,
just a second, 2 seconds too long sometimes to make the decision.
Sure.
The guy's open. He throws it a second and a half too late, and it ends up being an incompletion or a pick.
Yeah, and I hate that it seems like we're just sitting there piling on Seth and that everyone's piling on Seth. But as the quarterback, that kind of is how that works. Like you catch as much heat as the head coach does 90% of the time.
You're the only guy that touches the ball every play.
Well, Jacob Likes touches it a lot.
Okay.
Touche. I do think the Tigers win. I don't think it will be like the Arkansas State 37-3 kind of blowout, because I compared them to Arkansas State earlier. I do think it will be a closer game because I think Boise's running back is really good, and I think their quarterback can extend plays. I think they're more competent on offense than Arkansas State for sure.
Absolutely.
So I'm interested to see how it works out. I'm curious if they're going to change up defense a little bit, maybe have someone at the star position, maybe not necessarily spy Green, but maybe watch Genty specifically and just man up on him. Like, I'd be very curious if they would do that. Because you know that they're going to go to him. He's going to get a majority of the touches on offense.
Yeah.
Seems kind of